Hello buddies, welcome to CG Byte. Today in this session we are going to create something like this. Have a look, then we're good to go. So without further ado, let's get started and jump into Blender scene. So now we are in Blender. First of all, we have to create a main branch of the flower. So I created that with curve. So this is my layout, and in the 3D view press Shift A, then curve, and then select Bezier curve. You can rotate in object mode or you can work in edit mode too. This is totally depends on your choice. So rotate 90° on the y-axis, then make sure that the bottom part of this bottom point, this one, must be on the cursor. So just make this above, and from you can see our whole curve is on the top of our grid system. So from front it look 2D, it look absolutely flat. So we have to bend something like this, so it make it more look like three-dimensional or interesting. So go to edit mode, go to front mode, select upper point of the bottom curve center, move it like on this axis, and then select upper part and move it like on this axis. You can also scale this a little bit up. So now this is look 3D from all views. If you see from top, it look 3D like this, from right, from front. So we are ready to create some geometry around curve. So this is a curve, so we can easily create a geometry or profile curve around the curve to make this look thicker. So just go to the curve settings in this property panel, and we need to go to geometry panel. Open this, and here we have bevel options. So we can just create a thickness like this, but with this thickness you can see our whole curve from root to top have same thickness, but we don't need this. We need the bottom part, the root part of the branch look more thick, and the upper part should look thinner. So for that we have to make this 0. So to give it a proper thickness, we must have another curve to get reference from. So press Shift A and create another curve, rotate this like this, and now select our branch curve and go to geometry options, then taper object, and select this new curve from taper. Now make a bevel of depth, increase this, so it will look like something this. So now go to new curve and edit mode, just try to move this and figure out where it working good. So as you can see, we are getting some thickness, more thickness in the root and less thickness on the top. So adjust the new curve as you need the result. So I think this is, make this more thicker like this and like this. I think this is really good for starting. So you can increase the resolution to make this smooth, this edge is smooth. So for that you need to increase this resolution preview value to, I think 24 is perfect. And now just create a branch with extra objects. So our branch is ready. Now we are going to create animation for our branch first, then we will create other assets and flowers accordingly. So how we can do animation, procedural animation for the branch? So first of all, create a lattice. We are going to control our curve with lattice. Just from here we can get this and scale this on Z-axis, make sure to fit the curve inside the lattice. Okay, from right view also. Now go to the lattice settings and increase the resolution, something like this, so we can get a good deformation. So our lattice is set up now, and you can parent the curve to the lattice. Okay, and now select the curve and add a lattice modifier here, then select lattice, and now in edit mode of lattice, if you move the lattice points, you can see our curve is moving with that. Oh, that's really good. So now we are good to go to animation. Select the curve first, and then we need to create a growing animation for that. So go to frame 1 and go to curve options. Here you can see from start and from end animation values. So if you tweak this, you can see our growing animation like this. So make sure in the frame 1 the value is 1 and press I on this, and then go to the 70th frame and then make this 0. Press I. Now we have this animation like this. You can also fill the cap to fill this empty area. So now we are going to create animation for bending and rotating branch. So for that we need to select the lattice, go to modifiers tab, and then add simple deform modifier. So you can see our, if I go to this, you can see our curve is now rotating with the lattice, but here is a one issue. Our lattice is bending from the origin of the lattice, but we need this to bend from the bottom of the curve. So for that we need to create a empty on the bottom of curve like this, then parent this to this. Okay, now we have freedom to move this anywhere. Select the lattice, and here we have origin option, select empty. So if now you bending your curve, you can see this is bending from the bottom of the root. This is, which is very good for us. Now we are ready to create animation for our branch, sorry. So select lattice and go to bend option, and then if you try to bend on the y-axis, you can see this is bending like this. You can set your camera angle first from where you will watch your animation. So I am placed my angle camera here. You can place this anywhere, sorry, and then select our lattice, go to the frame 1 and make this bend like 360 here, minus 360 as you need. So I'm going to bend this on minus 360, press I, or you can enable auto key. So now if you move to the frame 60 and then press this to 0, so now this is how it will work, like this. So this is very slow, so we need to make some more interesting animation for this. We need to go to frame 40 and you can bend this to other side like this. And now if you play this, you can see a great animation like this. Now this at the end, this is suddenly stop, but we need some more wiggle effect or more smooth effect on the last. So we can create another keyframe on the frame 70 and then another one on the 75. So in graph editor we need to smooth this down. This is like this curve coming from the upside and suddenly stop. We need to if we need to create a smooth animation, we need to bend this to the bottom 2 and then to upside. So now this is, you can see smooth curve values here. So now if we play, you can see our curve is little bit smooths at the end, suddenly not stopping suddenly. This is some, there is some animation at the end too. You can also increase the duration of, yeah, I think this looks good to me. So here we are finished with our animation. You can also add some other effects like duplicate this and then twist this on Z axis and rotate this like this. Like you can if you want to rotate like on 30 frame, I just selected and keyframed on this, and then at the end of the animation make this value 0. So we need this to positive 360. Yeah, this looks good, but you need to work more to make this more interesting. So like on this point you can see our curve is looking flat, so we need to make this correct somehow. You can see this is looking scratched on the one side. So to solve this we need to make some changes in our animation. Yeah, now this is solved. Always try to work on graph editor without inserting extra keyframes, so you can easily manipulate things cleanly and professional ways. So you can see our animation looks good. Now we are ready to create some more branches around this main branch. So I am going to duplicate this, and the animation we did on this growing animation, I'm going to move this a little bit further, like 25, so it will grow after the main branch. And now go to edit mode, move this a little bit on side so we can see this clearly. Yeah, okay. Now we have to scale this down, or just select all the points of our new curve. So right click and subdivide this by 2 or 3 times, so we can easily revolve this around our main curve. Scale the handles to uh, make the curve smooth. Now this is select the new curve and go to curve options and decrease the width of that curve like this, and now adjust the handles accordingly. Okay, we are done with the curve. Now if you play the animation, you can see our all other animations are also working on this curve, which is very good. You can also add other branches like duplicate this branch, and you can move this something like select shift D, rotate, and decrease this. Oh sorry, we have to separate this. Select P to separate, and then go to this and duplicate, decrease the size. So now you can move this like this one here, like this. So I have this leaf model for the leaf animation. You can see this is quite heavy, so it deform very nicely. So press shift A and add empty and parent this to this empty. Now move this like this, and I am unhiding all our objects. So at the end of animation, scale this little bit down and place this where you want to create the animation for this. Rotate this like this, scale up a little bit, and move this inside the branch, or you can also add a leaf like this. So now ready to animation. Same, we'll add deformers like simple deform, and so for bend we are going to set origin this empty. You can see this is nicely deforming. So we must add the animation after the small branches grown above the leaf placement, so like here, and then bend this 360 degree to the bottom. Select press insert keyframe, and then go to the, I think 10 frames are enough to create animation for that. Go to like this, and then on this side so if we see, this is how this work. I think this is really good. So for that, on this time, select a keyframe on the leaf or just on the scale of the leaf, and then go to the start of animation and scale this to 0. Now we have this effect. We can slow this down a little bit. So now our leaf animation is ready, but we can add some more interesting twist animations in this. So select leaf, duplicate the modifier, and then press 0. Now we are going to twist this on the z-axis, I think. Yeah, on z-axis. So rotate this like this. So go to the frame 80 and rotate like this, and press I, insert keyframe, and on this select value 0. Yeah, this is looking awesome. So if we play this from start, I think this is looking not bad, but I want to add one more effect, like uh, it must shake, like this is shaking the branch, must shake with the leaf. It's not look like attached to the branch, so we have to create that effect. So I'm trying to find some solutions. So I found the solution for parenting this empty to the curve position. So I created a cube here, then placed a lattice modifier on that. So now this is moving with the lattice, and exact position of the curve. So then I parented this uh, empty to the vertex of one vertex of that. uh, you can see here in the relationship only one vertex of that cube. So now this empty is moving with the cube. So I don't think so there is a direct we can direct parent this empty to the curve points or curve. I tried shrink wrap, modify, floor, pivot, everything, but nothing is worked. So I have to find something other solution. So I parented this to this cube, and cube is moving with the curve. So at the end everything's look good. You can see now the leaf is moving with the our branch. So what we have to do now is shift D this, rotate this like this. You can scale this little bit and move this up like this. Also move this a little bit further. So our both leaves are now working well. This is I think both leaves should grow at the same time, just with little bit offset. Yeah, great. But we need to move this a little bit inside the curve and behind the curve. Okay, so let's play. This is looking stunning, awesome. Now it's time to create a flower, which is the main thing of this animation. First we need to create floats so it don't look bad. So we have something called base. So the flower is growing and branches are growing, everything's working well. So let's create flower. So for flower I have this what it called plunk, or I don't know what this is called. So you can see this is like this, and I have a subdivision modifier on this, so to increase the mesh count. Now we're going to create animation for this too. So first of all, the process is same. We are using surface deform modifiers. So no, sorry, simple deform modifier. So select that. First we have to parent this to a empty, so we can use that empty as a origin point. Control P, object, and now we are ready to go. So add simple deform modifier, go to band, and check where we can. I think it's y. I think this is, yeah, this is y axis. So just add simple deform band, make this like this, and on y axis, okay, why this is not so I don't know why this is happening, like this part is not moving with this. So to solve this we have to change the axis to, from y axis to, we need to change this to z axis. You can see it's deformed properly on z axis. I don't know why in every single features have issues in Blender. Don't know what is going on, but so anyway we have to find some solutions to achieve the result. So go to edit mode, rotate this on x-axis for -90°, and if this is parented to this, control P, keep up, you can remove rotate this on 90°, -90. And now if you increase decrease the value, you can find our flower is properly bending. So don't know what's the issue on the y-axis. It's properly bending on x and z-axis. So just duplicate this and enable the x-axis. So we have on both axes and like this. So let's take a look our animation keyframes here. So our animation is here. We must start flower animation on 80 frame. So just come to at 80th frame and press I on both values, and then go to near about 100, press 0 and something like this. Okay, so now we have this animation. So make this on the 10 and at this we need something like this and this. So now we have this animation here. So like we did on leaf animation, we have to create some other relaxing keyframes. So exact same as that, we need to do like this, and for this also we need to do like this. You can also move this like this and this. So now if we play, we can find this stunning animation, but here is some issue. You can see, okay, so we have to decrease this second curve value like this and this. Yeah, this is perfectly worked. So now we have to create a flower. So shift D R Z, sorry, it's not Z axis, it's Y axis. Shift D R Y and press shift D R Y and press shift R to make like this, or we can rotate like this to make this fit. You can also use array modifier, but that is time consuming, so we are just manually. And if we move our empty, now we can move our whole flower. So this is how it's looking now. This is awesome. Okay, now we can also shift D this and move a little bit up and scale this down. So first of all, we have to clear all keyframes from scale. I think we didn't create anyone, so that's awesome. Now we can scale this a little bit down like this and go to the last value. We have to make the animation offset so it's not merging in the each others. So just like this, we have this animation. I think we have to move, so yeah, here. Okay, great. I think I selected wrong flower. Scale this down, select all, move this forward, and we have this animations. So this is intersecting with each other. So to avoid this, we have to do some changes in our animation. So here we have to move this a little bit up, and also like this. And also move this a little bit on x-axis. No, not like this. I think this is okay. So press Alt P and clear parent, keep offset, and create a new empty. Shift D and rename this inner flower. Inner FLOWER, inner flower, and upper one to outer flower. Okay, great. Select the upper this one, and select inner flower at last. Press Ctrl P and now select inner flower and create keyframe here, and then go to the 100 and scale this to 0. Press I and now we have this animation. No, this is not looking good. I think I have to reduce the keyframes. No, not like this. This looks good, but we have to increase the speed of growing. So let's decrease this like this, and also this keyframes. We have to rotate on the individual. Something like this. Smoothing animation is most important part of anything. The larger the leaves are, the more they swing in air. So more soft animation for larger, and so select outer flower, press here keyframe, and on the 80th scale this to 0 and create a keyframe. So we have this animation now, which is looking awesome. So one last thing for the flower, we have to create another empty with the cube here. Scale this down, scale on x-axis or y-axis to fit to the flower. Select the both empties and parent to this, so we can easily move our full flower. Now at the last thing, we have to create the inner branches of the flower, which will be inside the flower. So also we have to create the bottom part of the flower. So I have created this one, like so. I am copying from my other file where it is. Delete this, and here it is. I am scaling this up and unhide all other parts. Hide this, and we have this part like this. So make this little bit, also parent this to this cube empty. Now we have everything ready. So we need one more thing, which is this and this. Okay, hide all upper parts. You can insert this in another collection, so you don't have to hide again and again. So for this, Alt or G to clear the data, and scale this down, put this like this to create a beautiful inner part of the flower. And now this is the part which is inside the flower. So scale is down. I already animated this same technique like this simple deform modifier. You can also do this, and I think we have to, yeah, I think the scale animation is already done, so I have to scale this down. So there are two ways. You can go to the graph editor and scale this down, and another way is to create an other empty. So select this and Control P, parent this. So now you can scale this and animation will perfectly work. And the animation needs to be like here. Yeah, this is good. Now Shift D this, rotate something like this, scale, Shift D, rotate, Shift D and rotate. Need to be more scale down this, scale this down. I think that is enough. And also parent this to this, Control P, keep offset. Also parent this part to the main empty. So now if we move this, everything worked well. Finally we have to check the animation. So also we have to scale animation for this, and here select keyframe on scale, and here select press again, and here we need to this to 0. So now we have this animation like this. Unhide everything, select our flower, scale this up and match to the rotation of the branch. So this is how it's work. Great. So I have to scale this up like like this, and press keyframe. But I think this is very fast. Let's check what is going on. Just try to rotate the camera angle and zoom in a little bit, zoom up and move like this. Yeah, looking perfect. I think this is awesome. We can add some other effects like texture and sand effect, which we will do in second part of this tutorial. So make sure to follow for the further instructions and sessions. I am going to create some tutorials on advanced animations, rigging and modeling too. So make sure to subscribe and like this video. So for the texturing and sand effects, rendering, lighting, wait for a second part of this tutorial. And okay, that's all. We meet in the second part. Have a nice day.